This is RadioFire.com. Yours truly, Don McKay, in here. Thank you for joining me. Broadcasting from the Radio Fire studios here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today's broadcast brought to you in part by the upcoming reality show Chase the Dream Baltimore. See a group of fresh and talented artists trying to make it big in the city and beyond, with personalities as strong as their rhymes. Watch them navigate life, love, and the entertainment business. Who will rise to the top in their journey to chase the dream? Visit Facebook.com/Chase the Dream now for more info on that. Today's broadcast is, this is a very difficult broadcast, I'll say. I'm just coming from the homegoing service for DJ Vicious V, which took place at the Gospel Tabernacle Baptist Church in Walbrook Junction section of Baltimore that Vicious V grew up in. Service was, as you would expect, it was sad, and it was very crowded, so it's pretty much to capacity. As I pulled up to the church, which is at 3100 Walbrook Avenue, as I pulled up, got a chance to see some fellow DJs outside. Saw Mr. Incredible and a bunch of other guys outside. So I shook everybody's hand, and I go inside of the church, and as I said, crowded. You do the normal things. You sign the guest book, and you look around to see people that you know. Try to get a glimpse of the family. I came a little later than I wanted to, so I was kind of in the back, and I saw DJ Unique and DJ Bird, so I sat over there with them. And I think funerals are difficult when you know the person, obviously. What's the most difficult part for me is always watching the family's reaction and how the family is showing their emotion. A few people ran out that were overcome with grief, as understood. And so it was. Yeah, another thing that I noticed, there were people, of course, and this happens often, people of different faiths come to wherever the funeral is, and so there were a lot of Muslim brothers there, with their kufis on, and their Muslim themed clothing, and it was all love, right? Even though they're in a Baptist house of worship. Still going on. So that was good to see. Another thing that I really found comfort in about the funeral, the eulogy, the pastor of the Gospel Tabernacle Baptist Church. Normally, when someone gives a eulogy, a lot of times they don't know the person that they're speaking about. And they're just kind of talking, they're reading some things off a piece of paper, and that's it. Or the person is older, and maybe they have not been active in the church for a lot of time, and so they're kind of trying to recall things, or in those instances, maybe they didn't know the person. But this gentleman that gave the eulogy at the Gospel Tabernacle Church, he knew Vicious V personally. So his eulogy was totally different than a lot of the ones that I spoke about. And of course, sometimes people have they're older and maybe they didn't have a church home, or maybe that church wasn't their home, or whatever. But the fact that he knew Vicious V really allowed him to give a eulogy that was good, and it was heartfelt. Not saying that other eulogies are not heartfelt, but I could really feel he actually was able to share stories about his interactions with Vicious V, who he called Vincent, and he was able to imitate Vicious V. I mean, V was just really, kind of kind of loud, and but it was really comfort in the fact that he was able to share these stories where he had interaction with V, and he talked about Vicious V calling him on Sunday sometimes and asking him to put money into the offering. And the Reverend said that you can put the money in the offering some other time when you get a chance. And so he said, no, I want to put it in today. It's Sunday. And he was told the Reverend that he would give him his money back when he saw him. And so he talked about that, and it was really nice. And so he said that V would see him, and he lived across the street, and he would see him and yell over to him, "Got your money?" and give him the money. And it was really nice stories. And he talked about watching the Steelers play the Ravens, and how V would attempt to contain his emotion when they're watching this in the church, so he can't really react the way V would normally react. So I mean, there were a lot of instances and a lot of stories that he shared, but like I said, it was very emotional. You could see that the Reverend was emotional in his talking about Vicious V. So it was really good. They had a private burial. So that funeral was the last time. That was where you said your goodbyes and came to peace with that being the last time that you would see his physical body. Speaking of Vicious V, and there was a repast as well. And there are going to be, I'm sure, events and all different types of things to commemorate his memory. And so afterwards, of course, since there wasn't a burial that was open to the public, DJs and family and friends, or more so friends, because I think family went to the burial. Maybe that's something that they want to keep private. Maybe they don't want everyone to know where he is buried, or something to that degree, which I can understand if that's what the family wants. But so DJs gathered outside, and it's mostly DJs, and we just were sharing stories, talking about V, and it's a lot of people there. I mean, too many to name specifically, but right off the top of my head, I saw KW Griff, I saw Rod Lee, of course, Ice, of course I mentioned Unique, Mr. Incredible, a lot of people. Howard saw High Def, Tony from Third World. Just so many good people. And the thing that I said, DJ Cornbread, it's so sad that a lot of times we don't get together unless it's for an occasion like this. And I was telling someone, I don't remember who it was, but I was telling someone that the last time I remember seeing this number of DJs together was the funeral of Reggie Reg. And there's a lot of faces that I would have liked to have seen there that I did not see there for whatever reason. I think that a lot of people are divided. As the Reverend said at the Gospel Tabernacle Baptist Church today, he said that V was someone that you either loved, or he didn't use the word hated, but I'm going to use the word hated. Either you loved or you hated, right? There was no in between, and I definitely agree with that. But the Reverend said that he loved Vicious V, Vincent, and like I said, it was very moving and very comforting. So I definitely want to salute Vicious V, and I definitely want to say rest in peace to a very good person, a very genuine person. And I'm quoting the Reverend again. He just said that there was no fake about him, and I think that that's true. I think he told you exactly, talking about Vicious now, I think that he spoke exactly how he felt and said what he meant. and I was looking back through my phone, just looking at some of the texts that we exchanged over the last year or so, and usually it was about the Baltimore Music Awards. It was about a party that I was doing, or about music, some type of song, something to that effect is usually what we talked about. And we didn't really talk about things other than that. We talked about football sometimes, but it was mostly music related stuff and battling and that kind of stuff. And so I definitely would look fondly on those memories and all that. So I definitely wanted to say that before we move on. Definitely let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire.